was some good clangers in there, man. There was some good clangers. Like when he said, if you've ever gone to a rave for kids? No. No, man, not like that. I mean,
that was. Have you been swallowed?
Exactly. Have you been swallowed up? That was something else, man.
When I was a youth, I used to blow my all like a raver. Yeah, me say when me was a youth, me used to blow my all like a raver. Yeah, 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 me say when me was a youth, we used to go out low. When me was a youth, me never touch microphone. When me was a youth, me used to blow my all like a raver. But them
Hello and welcome to the Short Back and Side Show.
We sit down, bro.
Host is talking in the joke.
Host is hosting.
So today we're going to be talking about a very close subject to my heart, which is the death of clubbing. Because in my early 20s I used to be mad raver, but as I've got older, habits change, and yeah, you just change as a person and you start to do different things, and so we're gonna delve deep into the reasons for this. So on the panel today we have
Pleasure Pete,
Mr. Blake, Millionaire Mike,
RW.
and Trife, the host.
the host.
So I want to really touch on like three kind of like key points for me for kind of like, we call it the death of clubbing because it's just not the same anymore. So we're going to touch on impact of the internet and social media, our generation against kind of like the new generation, and kind of economic pressures. So to get into it, to start with, so who actually goes out in the evening anymore out of the panel? Just going around the panel. Reese?
Oh, so going out just
As
in
in
terms of,
clubbing. As in, when was the last time you went to a nightclub? Let's start there.
couldn't even really tell you, if I'm honest. Maybe like just a genuine clubbing, probably like maybe a year and a half ago. I couldn't even tell you. Yeah. Maybe 2 years. It's not even in my recent memory, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
What country was it in?
No, UK.
UK.
Yeah.
Because I'd be good.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about UK. I'm just talking about what happens in the UK here.
I don't remember, you know. It's been a while ago. I'm
Yeah.
talking probably about 2-3 years ago, bro.
2-3 years ago, so quite a long time. As in just randomly, let's go to a club.
I think going to a club in the evening,
Yeah.
where I pay my money, boom, was at least 3-4 years ago, bro.
Mine would have been in July, but I was in Rotterdam for Rotterdam Carnival.
Okay.
And this was a proper you know them European super clubs?
Yeah.
Like the whole system, like you get coins, you get tokens
Rotted.
to give for drinks. There was no arms, there was every race of man and woman in there.
Yeah.
Pure vibes. I recommend Rotterdam Carnival pre-party and post-party. Yeah. So yeah, man.
Alright, let's touch that then. Yeah. On it.
Pete?
I think like maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from like panel's point of view, what do you think has changed in kind of like the clubbing scene to where it's got to now, in your opinion?
You didn't answer the question.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Your own question.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
sorry.
true.
Yeah.
Last time I went clubbing, I think it was someone's birthday, so I think November, properly.
Last year?
Yeah, last year.
Okay,
November.
cool.
recent.
So it's been
Recent,
recent
Like,
still.
yeah, but I didn't want to go.
Why?
I didn't want to go. I think for me, clubbing's just, as you know, I go gym at early hours, and so that's just out of my routine. So I've been up 24 hours by the time it's time to go clubbing, and I last couple of years I've given up alcohol, and it's just not the same anymore. It has to be a vibe, and
That's
a
true.
vibe in the actual place, and I just don't clubbing I just feel like, I don't look like the uncle though, because I look young still, but you feel out of place,
Viewers can tell us that.
everyone is like in their 20s and stuff like that. I don't really see any like my age going there, and it's just them guys are just in their second childhood. They don't want to give up like clubbing and stuff like that. So, but from the panel's point of view, what do you think has changed in the landscape?
I think lots have changed. I think if you think of the clubs that we used to frequent, they're not here no more.
Yeah,
I'm talking like Bagley's gone.
Yeah,
Coliseum
gone. Yeah,
Gas Club
gone.
Area gone. Destiny renamed.
Yeah,
It's not this. The raving that we did is nothing compared to what we do now.
I've actually got a stat on that. So compared to early 2010s, let's just say just say before that, there was say 36,000 clubs in the UK. How much do you think, as of 2020, clubs in the UK?
2020 or?
20, let's say 22.
I'd say maybe 10,
10,000.
No, less.
Raw.
1,900.
You're joking.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's in 2022.
Yeah.
So probably now like 7.
Yeah.
That's probably gone down further.
Yeah.
Now.
Does it show like where in the UK that is? 'Cause I think there's another thing about
just
that.
like in the UK, just in general
okay.
kind of thing.
Damn.
Which we'll touch on some of them factors, but just
crazy.
interesting to kind of.
Crazy.
Do you
yeah,
think
it's
that
crazy.
raving though, is linked to Mandem? So if the
It's-
Mandem don't feel like they're getting play from the gal them, they'll stop going rave.
I was going to touch on that. So I think the other part of it is probably the internet, because you said that man them kind of, because you think about it, girls don't really buy their drinks. Well, I don't buy no chick, no drink in no club. You get me? She can have 10 finest, man. You get me?
With ice, yeah.
With ice, tap water, mate. But because of, like, back in the day, remember we used to rave, like, if you went into like a gully chick that's on it, you just go south in it, kind of just like you go to them
because
old Kent Road clubs, whatever, draw up a couple things.
Yeah.
If you wanted like the sophisticated, you'll go to like
North.
no. Actually, Muswell Hill. We used to go to the
It's a
hill,
hill,
the
yeah,
hill a lot
hills,
kind
like,
of thing.
yeah,
Or
like-
Central London, like
Central.
like them, like what was it? What's that club again? Movida,
Yeah,
back in the day. With
China
obviously
White.
China Whites and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that. You'll kind of go there.
Them clubs never appealed to me, you know.
Really?
They didn't appeal to me as well. It's too much paper, but because I used to work in Central, innit, and
Okay.
so all the girls from work always go in there, and like we used to always go with them and stuff like that, and so get me as. Yeah, let's just say the rest of the month was sardines, man. But that one weekend we just
Like
lit
a
up
king.
kind of thing, one of them ones. But my point being is you kind of go where the girls are, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Now
try.
you've got internet where you can just chat to them girl online, innit? So
Basically, yeah. And you know what it is as well? No one don't whine. No one don't dance no more in club. Like when you go. When was the last time you held a wine? Proper wine with a gal, like, and you didn't have to.
20,
And you didn't have to worry about someone filming
Well,
you.
this is the thing. Is it a cultural shift where
I've done that.
even dancing can be seen as potentially inappropriate or inappropriate touching?
Yeah.
Or
Depends which club you're going to, mate.
That's true.
True.
Yeah.
But is that? I'm just saying. Is
Yeah,
that
is it?
an element of being apprehensive, or is it like you're saying the potential of going viral?
Yeah.
If there's a photo of you in a club, and you might not want that photo to be circulated.
There's a promoter from South.
Why man's looking at me?
I'm looking at Nicky. I don't mind.
There was one promoter in South.
I don't dance.
He did a dance in
Bad man though.
in one of them holiday islands, and the prerequisite if you came in, you had to hand in your mobile phone in and put it in like a locker. And he said by doing that, people were dancing. It wasn't a case of
I can
well,
imagine.
I can't talk to that person because apparently it's my ops op and da-da-da-da-da. There was a lot more cohesion, a lot more harmony.
And I think Diddy did the same thing.
Maybe with the cameras.
Yeah, but that's a good point. You touched on two very important things, really. So
Yeah.
if you want to have a special Diddy party, just put your phone away.
Yeah.
But also, what you is saying, alluding to, is that the tech is coming in between the relationship between human beings.
You think so? So
I think so. Because
definitely.
remember back in the day, you know, we're showing our age a piece, but who cares? When we had our phones weren't that smart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was a
could
case
take
of,
pictures and
listen, phones were about getting digits,
Yeah.
and filling that phone book with bare numbers,
Yeah.
and boom, 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 BlackBerry Messenger, whatever, innit?
Yeah.
But nowadays, like, when I've been to raves, day raves, or festivals or whatever, it's bare this.
Oh,
bare that,
mate, I
bare
can't
this,
stand
you know
that.
what I'm saying? It's like,
selfies and
yeah,
stuff
it's
like
that, it's that selfie sway. Like, they're swaying with it.
And you know
Like,
what as
yeah, but no one's shacking out.
And you know as well, no one don't give out numbers no more. What's your snap? That's all I hear the young geek them say. What's your snap?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, I ain't on snap, man. I'm old school, man. Take my number.
Yeah.
I think so.
So I think that might be a reason why. For them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
should
saying? It
we
might
pause
just be down to the tech. You know,
Yeah.
the tech is now
Yeah.
making it easier for people to connect instead of.
We're going to pause on that point.
Yeah.
Alright. So we're going to look at the differences between generations. So kind of like our generation and kind of the new generation, because this generation don't really do the same things we were doing when we were that age. I think they're a bit more researched with things. Like for example, they're more like the guys are more likely to stay at home and play on their PlayStation 5 instead of going out. Where we're like back in the day, from the ages of like 17 to say 30, man's were out every weekend.
Yep.
Why do you think? What other reasons do you think that could be a difference between generational?
I'll tell you why though. Remember when we used to go out places?
Yeah.
Sometimes we had to take a chance. Like, we didn't know if the rave was going to be good or not.
Yeah,
There was no review. There was no social media commentary. Whatever.
Yeah.
You go and grab the man, then drive somewhere, and it was just potluck.
Yeah.
Like I remember. Remember when you and T went up to Birmingham? No, we went to Nottingham, and there was 3 girls in the rave. 3. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And the place was it was empty. And we somehow managed to scrape the barrel and just chirp those 3 girls out of there. They weren't even, one of them looked like an auntie. Remember? It was just like, we were just grinding out stuff. But we had no idea, bro. We were just in Nottingham. When we found out that they didn't play the music we liked because Nottingham was active, even back then.
Oh, yeah.
All they played was like house and stuff. It was jokes. Me and T and other T, it was just like, there's no chicks here. Like, it was so dead. But we managed to squeeze out the 3 half-decent women that were there. And it was so funny. But we did not take a chance. If we'd known how dead it was going to be, in this current age, we would have been able to go on Insta, look at the pictures, look at the latest reviews, and it's like, nah, this place is dead.
Do you think that spoiled the fun in it though, a little bit?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Because don't get me wrong, like, we can never take our lives back from that time, that dead lifestyle. It was so dead, and the music was terrible. It was some techno mixed with rock, mixed with some incredible.
Were you in the city centre?
Yeah, it was dead. But you know, sometimes those nights
Are the funniest.
we still bust jokes. Like it was us lot. We managed to get, still have a bit of fun and manufacture some element of fun out of it. You know what I'm saying? It was so dead though. You know,
Yeah, no, it was a terrible.
terrible.
So P, any other reasons you think?
I think it's the cost of it.
Yeah, I was gonna go into that.
Because now, in theory, it's more accessible, right? Because you got better transport links and stuff. You know, when you used to roll out of the club, you used to be like, shit, how am I getting home? I remember those dilemmas. It's like, either night bus, but there's only one that goes back to North London.
Black cats don't stop for black man.
But now it's more accessible. I think it's the cost of it. I mean, like, a time when I went out to a club and you buy someone a drink and they say to you like 18, 19, 20 pounds and you're just like, what?
Yeah, rounds are expensive.
For one, no, but that's just one drink.
Well, that's just one drink. Where you're going out now.
No, but that's how the last set that I went to, that's how it was. Like, it was crazy. So I think there's a cost side of it, and I think also now, like, I don't know if it's just my age and that, but I see, like, actually even my brother's like 9 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Or something. But him and his boys, they'd be like, they'll go out for a drink maybe, so they'll go out, socialise and all that,
more sensible.
but then just like kick back a yard, because they're like, we can buy a bottle of whatever and turn it into a house party. I think a lot more people nowadays.
But why though? Why do you think everyone's the like mindsets have changed? Because back in the day, we'd be going bargain booze beforehand, drinking, getting smashed up, getting to the club, mash up.
I think COVID played a massive part in it. I think COVID has really taken us back in terms of our social interactions. I feel like people are scared to not only interact with each other but even get close to people. And when I say close, like if I get in your physical space, it's an issue. I don't know. Yeah, I feel we've just taken steps back in that regard.
But also, you were saying that like the amount from 30 something thousand down to 1,000. Obviously, over time, if the options are reduced as well.
Yeah,
like
there's many reasons to that. So one of them being the rising costs, so increase rent, business rates, energy costs, make it difficult for nightclubs to stay profitable. You know, obviously, if alcohol's going up and people ain't going up.
But let's look at a nightclub. Then what makes a nightclub? Yeah, what it looks like. If you look at the staple things that you need to have a good time, good music.
Yeah, good music.
Good venue.
I was gonna say I don't know the venue really.
Just the vibes inside.
The venue's got to be accessible, right? It's got to be, you know what I mean?
It's got to be easy to get to,
easy to get to and stuff like that. Yeah. So when you think about,
you disagree.
When you think about like when I think about going out somewhere, it's got to be like the music has got to be on point as well. So if music is ever so changing and changes rapidly nowadays. When you used to go to a rave, like you used to hear tunes that like you either played in your car or you were about to play because you could keep up with how current the music is. Nowadays, bro, the music changes so rapidly. Even if you go to a rave, getting used to the music and enjoying the vibe and catching it comes from the tunes. Do you know what I'm saying? If you're not catching certain tunes,
the tunes are not the same as they used to be. Basically,
I think the tunes are coming out too quickly. Because you've got so many tunes and so many genres of music and sub-genres of music. You go to a rave, you don't really know what the DJ's going to play. And then that could mash up your flow because you might hear one tune and then next week, you switch it to the next tune. It's like, oh man, the vibe's gone, man. I don't know this tune, or I don't like this dude, or this and that.
Yeah. Another reason is
I just think that I think clubbing, the culture has just been undercut. Not just about like costs and things like that, but I think in terms of the culture has changed in the sense of, let's be honest, why do you go clubbing? Music, venue,
guys.
Guys,
no, as in guys. No.
So you want to show the group?
I was trying to add something. Single guys obviously go to, and girls go to check. Man them and gal them.
You're just digging, brother.
I'm saying that's what people. When I was younger, obviously you go for music and to like chill, and obviously to check the gal, innit? Wouldn't you?
Right.
Man,
so he was sweating to the light.
Warm water.
It's not the lights. It's not the heating in there. He's sweating. To put that home as soon as he already goes back into the bush. But you eventually got to where I was going with it, right? Which is obviously from looking at it from a heterosexual point of view. The guys are going there for girls.
Yeah.
With app culture.
Yeah. You can just click.
It has just, I think, just decimated that entire part of the process. And it's like, why go through all that?
When you can just swipe.
When you swipe, you connect. And it is, again, then just, and a lot of guys know that there's only a certain group of guys that are being successful on those apps and getting those girls. Which are the majority of the majority of guys that are going are saying, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
If I know only a small group of guys are going to get all the girls, why am I going to this place to spend all this money? Social media's already infected their heads. They all think they're 10s.
Yeah. Nah, 100%.
They all think they then deserve 6'9" multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
Who is a porn star in bed and an absolute gentleman, and will take them to Dubai and have and take lovely photos. If that's the level, a lot of guys are just like,
true.
What's the point?
It's true.
And I guess it also reiterates that you're not really going to find your wife in a club, innit?
Yeah.
No. But then again, it depends.
Depends on
what we're looking for.
Yeah, it depends. I know some people who had successful relationships at a club.
Yeah, quite a few.
Really?
Yeah. It's not uncommon. It's not uncommon. Like you know, if you say to me, you know, if you go to a brothel and find a wife, that's some big concerns, you know what I'm saying? but if you see the rave, you never know. You might find
It's
something.
not beyond the realm of possibility,
Yeah,
but it's not
it's
advisable.
feasible. Yeah.
Another point is the rise in the early night culture. So by that I mean day parties.
Yeah.
So you got festivals, you got brunches, you've got like
They're the way
cafes, like little bars that are open till like 11 and stuff like that. People in the older generations tend to go to those things now, and they're more catered to them, so they have their music that everyone likes, like the old school. We don't want to be hearing that fast chopping music Millionaire Mike was talking about, where you can't really catch a vibe. And for me personally, those are my things, because it's a nicer vibe. I don't know, in the evening it always like, kind of like always felt like it was something could happen, if that makes sense. When the day it's just like everyone seems more happier. Where in the night everyone's just like got their shades on, just like get me screw face and stuff like that.
You know what it is? You know what I like about it? The fact that I can still get home at a decent time. Watch match of the day, get a leg over, and go bed.
100%. All in one day's work.
All in the
100%.
For real. And also, I also think, like, there's more to do. There's so much going on, like, with Netflix, YouTube, and all them places there. The last thing you want to do is miss an episode, and that, even though you can always watch it again. But because your time is so scarce, because it's all consumed by work or by social media interaction and whatever, the dating is, personally for me, been a revelation. Like, you can catch up with a man there. Go to a R&B branch or reggae branch or dancehall branch or whatever. Right. You can get the food you like, you can get the music you like, the man them that you're chilling with, and you can do that in 6 hours. With a nice vibe.
I can even get the gal you like.
If you're that way inclined, if you need a woman in your life, 100%.
100%. Also, another thing that's kind of been against kind of like nightclubs is, do you remember back in the day there was all these clubs and stuff like that, and then kind of like UK Garage come out and like the violence and stuff like that. So obviously because of like there was trouble at certain events, like there was tougher licensing laws because of that.
And the 696 form.
Remember
that? So do you know about the 696 form?
No, educate me.
So if you was a grime or UK rap act, in order for you to perform at the club, you would have to do a 696 form, that the promoter would have to fill out with you, and then they would have to send it to Metropolitan Police. And then if the Metropolitan Police say you could play, if not. And this is why the likes of, say, Giggs' career stagnated, because if you'd been linked to the gang thing and you weren't passing that 6-9 thing, your career was in a bit of a decline.
Yeah, that was So Solid, didn't they? That was one of the...
Yeah. But that's the thing, them So Solid raves were
they was
the one. They were the one.
It's one of them ones though, certain times when there's things kicking off, you're like, well, am I going to get out of this kind of thing?
Do you know what? But it's funny, I don't know, I think it added to that.
It did add to the like...
One of the best raves I ever went to, and people, if you agree with me, let us know in the comments, was Universal Sounds at Alexandra Palace, Ali Pali, So Solid, Pay As You Go, and Heartless Crew.
Wow, that was peak. That was the
peak danger.
There was a man from every part of London, even out of London. Yeah, there were stampedes. I see a man pull out a golden biscuit, if you catch my drift. And I was just, but it added to that. Like the tension kind of thing. And then just to know that, you know what, got on the night bus home and I got back into my bed safely. They give thanks and praise, but they don't do the raves like that no more.
I mean, look, I rave internationally. Me and T rave internationally. When I went to Miami, that was probably some of the best. Actually, you came as well. One of the best raving experiences that we've ever had. And we were in America, land of gun violence. I think in Florida is carry as well.
They carry.
Concealed and carry. Bro, we had the best time.
Listen, I remember one time I met you, man, in Florida.
No, it was me, and the other guys. Yeah.
And I remember a certain man got moved to by Beyonce, but Beyonce with grills, and she was just proper hood with it, like. And I thought, woo! And then I remember we came out the club and everyone was congregating, and I remember the guy goes to the girl, yo, girlfriend, come over here, and she was like, and he's like, yo, girlfriend, I'll give you $150, make you do something you never think you do, and she came, and I thought, whoa, like the way how they drew a gal over there was, I don't know.
For me personally, what affected my raving hair was I started going to I went to the tunnel like when I was like 17.
What's that?
The tunnel. Have you heard the tunnel
Tunnel
club?
in New York.
New York.
No.
Oh, come on.
It's like hip hop club.
Tunnel is legendary.
It's like Mobb Deep performed there, Nas, like all like East Coast. I went there when I was like 17.
Legendary. Belly was filming there.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went there when I was 17. I was going like Iron Upper, and then I started going to like ATL, then obviously the Miami experience, and for me, them clubs were like movies compared to like what we had here.
Yeah.
Like everyone was dancing. There's just vibes from day, man.
Agree.
So having to go from there to like Leicester Square on a Saturday night with some stush things.
I completely agree with you. When I went Kingston, Jamaica, Uptown, went out to a club out there.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. And you know Jamaican culture is based
Yeah.
on fun and dancing.
Yeah.
Everybody in the rave, except for some of the man them that are extra bad man.
Yeah.
But even then, they will move something. If there's a tune they like, they'll start moving. And they're dancing. They're not two-stepping like they're too bad to dance. They're dancing. But they're, when you experience something like this, and I'm like, yo, I'm in Kingston, Jamaica. And everybody in the dance, shack out, rock out. Everybody, even the bartenders are shacking out. It's like, you understand what that does to you in terms of like, this is worth my £20, this is worth my £30.
And that's why I
You know what I'm
recommend
saying?
you lot to go to that club in Rotterdam for
I will be going
for
this
the
year.
post-carnival, pre-carnival party, man, because there's something about, as you said, raving worldwide, whether it's in the Americas or Europe, it's just a whole different vibe.
Why is it then? Are they happier than we?
I must say that, man. Serious.
What, so we are just a bunch of miserable Brits?
Yeah.
We just don't like to go out?
Yeah.
As you would think though, that because the weather's so dead here, and everything's just so gloomy,
Yeah.
that being in a club is the first thing we
experience.
want to go to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But it's the hoops you have to get to the club.
Yeah.
Like transport expensive, everything's just expensive to get into the club kind of thing. When you're finally there and everyone's standing there like screw face.
I think that's the thing, innit? It's the vibe of the people in the room.
Yeah.
Because like I went clubbing in Mumbai, right? No, seriously, we did.
We went in Goa. We've been in Goa.
Yeah.
But you would think Mumbai, I was like, when Rima took me, this is before we got married, it was like, what the fuck is this going to be? I was like, there's no way these people are going to know what to do. And we got in there, and it was like
It's a vibe, innit?
it was a vibe, bro. Even though I didn't know what the music was, I was still like, doing a little shuffle, but everyone in there was chill. Everyone in there was like happy. Drinks were flowing. It was a good time, and there was no like, like here, like you say, stush people or whatever. You see like guys go to girls and just like get rejected. Even though you're not part of that group, you feel like, oh man, this is a bit dead, innit? Because it gives you a vibe. You draw the energy off the people around you. When I was in Mumbai, they were all hype, bro. They were all just happy in their little corners of the room or whatever, just doing their thing.
Yeah.
It's different.
Another kind of like big reason for kind of like the loss of loads of nightclubs is obviously you're in property, everyone's buying out the old nightclubs and building flats. That's happening all over the, kind of like the UK. So again, because it's down to high rents and
there is that. I mean, there's this thing called use class E that came out, and when COVID was about, essentially, because what they realised is that a lot of the businesses that were being hit by COVID were food and beverage businesses, including nightclubs and stuff. So if you've got a lease, if you've got a property that has a specific use class, because all properties in this country have got a use class in terms of what you can and can't do. So for instance, if you're in office, you'll be a B class, B1 for instance, that will be an office building. You can't serve food out of a B1 office building, for instance, just to give you an example. So with the nightclub thing, it comes under D use, which is a leisure use, and sometimes it's too generic of its own kind. So I give you a lot of property kind of discourse, but to make it succinct, each property has got a specific use class. COVID murked bare businesses, restaurants, nightclubs particularly, and a few others. what the landlords, essentially the owners of these buildings, realize is that, look, we might not be able to go back to those type of, you know, periods of time where people were coming out clubbing. Cinemas went through the same thing as well.
Yeah.
So if you've seen, a lot of you cinemas have been refurbished, you know, where they're reducing the number of seats, but they're providing more of an experiential kind of attraction. Exactly. Nightclubs, bro, if we get another situation with COVID, they're gonna die again. So you'll find that, as Terry said, their freeholders and landlords said, you know, I don't want to go through this again. I lost PA money, insurance didn't pay out, the tenants weren't able to pay rent. I want to change the use class of it. And that's why you see a massive change in conversion into offices, or actually not even offices, sorry, residential properties, if you can, where you convert the whole thing into a residential property or a gym or something that's a bit more akin, that's going to get more people on a daily basis, effectively, rather than a nightclub.
Just on that as well, a lot of clubs with existing late licenses in London, when they're up for a renewal, they're not getting renewed again. They're getting renewed for like 1 o'clock as opposed to like 3 o'clock, like 3, 5 o'clock. So that's another big reason. And you think the government's deliberately kind of trying to just push everyone to earlier lifestyle?
Do you know what my thing is? If I'm
interested.
We touched on this in previous episodes where our dogs talked about AI.
Yeah.
I honestly think that we're being pushed into some kind of metaverse, multiverse life where people are going to stop raving in physical places. People are going to even stop linking people. We're going to put some VR glasses and when I link up in the metaverse somewhere, and you can meet a baddie, whether she's from Rio de Janeiro, France, or Milan. You're going to be chatting to her in this virtual thing. And you're like, yo, babe, do you want to go cinema? And you both of you are transporting yourself into some mad metaverse thing. I mean, that's what's happening, bro.
Something's happening. There's definitely a bigger agenda to this.
I swear there's an episode like that in Black Mirror.
Is it?
Yeah.
You remember
that? I'll be honest, that's where I think it's going. I know it sounds mad.
No, it's not mad. It's not. No. It's not mad. It's not mad because the seeds are being planted.
Yeah.
Do you know? I just thought of something, and I'm intrigued to hear what you all thought. I think the decline of nightclubs started when they started the cigarette ban in clubs.
It did.
Yeah, that's true.
It did because
I kind of liked it though.
So did I. I'm not gonna lie.
It did create. Well, okay, I was on the other side, which was that being able to smoke inside. Was part and parcel
of the experience.
Of the experience. And then when you got home,
you can smell it on your
skin. You knew that you'd been out. You've been moving hard.
Do you know what? Ever since the kind of smoking ban, I've never really felt that cramped in the club. But back in the day when everyone's smoking, you just like, it was just bodies everywhere and you feel that warmth.
There was had an atmosphere to it. You go in there and there'd be that mist. There'd be, you know, from the haze from the smoke, there'd be the music, the lighting. There was even though it smelled, but there was a tactile sort of experience.
It was annoying, bro.
You didn't like it?
Nah, you went in there, it stank. Sometimes you go home, you got a blazer, because you know we should be the blazing coach, and then you find there's a hole in your fucking jacket. I'm like, ridiculous! And you man behind me, you can't buck the man and say, yo.
You would find
some dickhead is just smoking BNH.
That was part of the experience. That was it.
But you make a great point about clothing, because I was just saying when it was off camera. I know before you'd go to big graves, you'd go House of Labels or Probito. Get your machine or Iceberg and
just get the outfit.
That don't happen no more.
I mean, look, we don't rave like we used to rave, so I don't know what it's like now, innit? But when we do go day raves, we still look patterned because that's the area we come from. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you go out, traditionally, you always, you know, come out looking fresh. So I don't know if the mandem still do this now, but the thing is, we had a culture. What you just talked about, alluded to, Mad Mosh, Iceberg, all them labels. 9 times out of 10, the mandem will be busting that. You see man with the Mad Mosh, the Versace, the Valentinos, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, you don't know what's going on. Man could be wearing anything.
And that's what I liked about old school garage raves from back in the day. Everyone was dressed to the nines. It was all about looking good in your garms, if it was a Mosh or Iceberg or Visu, about the champs, and you were good.
Bottom of
Yeah.
Moles of drink.
Yeah.
Moles of drink.
Flossing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nowadays, I'll tell you what, it's kind of made raving more difficult. Because when we used to go out, you could still be part of the majority, have a good time, and stand out, and still have your bottle of Mo and that, and dance in the club. What I really despise, personally, for me, is the table culture. Yeah, it's the £1,000 table in the VIP section,
Not into that.
and you're not part of the rave because you literally segregated from the rave, and you need to be in the rave because no one can see how much paper you got just because you got VIP.
Yeah.
But you're not in the rave because you're so far away from it.
out.
And the real rave is the people. I always believe that the ravers are the man them in the middle, the gal in the middle, shacking out. That's the rave, man.
That's the vibe.
That VIP thing, bro. I think it killed bare raving.
It did, but you know, it also showed as well ego. There's
Yeah.
man competing against next man
Yeah.
about who can buy at the bar, who can draw the most cow to the table. Like,
I was just using you for your champagne, bro.
Yeah.
It's gone off. It's done.
why are you trying to impress next man for?
Yeah.
I never liked it personally.
No, same. I never
Because-
subscribed to it. Never.
Because what it did as well, like the people that were really about the rave, about the vibes, they got pushed to the side, and the VIP lot would come to the front, get on the tables, and all they would do is just sit there, look nice, the gal look nice, but they don't dance.
So
and
just
Yeah.
nice,
dance,
just look
they
there,
don't do nothing.
looking.
And that's
Yeah.
why I didn't like
Looking
them
upon people.
Mayfair raves,
Yeah.
the Mayfair clubs.
Too
and-
much of a fashion show
Yeah,
kind
man.
of thing.
Not my thing, man.
But fashion is part of raving, though.
Yeah.
I
You know
know,
what I'm saying?
But fashion, but not dancing.
things
Just
like-
sitting there looking nice, like
So
statue
okay.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna start wrapping up now. So, for you guys, what has been the biggest death of the night culture? I'll start with RW.
For me, like I said before, I think it's clearly been a number of factors that have all happened either at the same time or in close succession. That's
Yeah.
just pounded away at the culture. But I think one of the key things is the rise of social media, the rise of online dating and app
Yeah.
culture.
Big time.
That kind of just, especially with the next generation, that just beg the question, why bother?
Before we go on to Millionaire Mike, sorry, we just had a poll result back from our socials, and we asked the audience, what do you prefer, night raving or day raves? And 90% said day raving. and 10%,
90.
yeah, 90.
Wow.
10%.
But do you remember day raves back in the day used to be for kids?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
for picnics.
Under 18s,
Like under
yeah.
18s.
No, but you know what?
They always have raves though.
No, but have you ever been to the raves that are for kids?
No.
Listen, obviously I got young kids.
Oh, yeah. I've been, yeah.
Oh,
Like,
for like younger kids.
no,
yeah.
like parents and,
Yeah,
and
but-
toddlers. Bad boy raves.
What do
Right.
you think he asked?
Listen, let me
It's
tell
got
you
check in
something.
it.
Some of them people, they're not there for their kids. Some of them parents are there to get draw, you know.
Bro, I
can
went to
imagine.
one, yeah, I could not believe it. That's a very good point. Respect for that. I went to one where I wanted my kids them to understand drum and bass.
Yeah.
So they had like all them man there, Nikki Black Market and them man.
What?
Yeah. Daytime rave. So I'm there with my daughters, my older two. They were like 4 or 5 them times. And Nikki's dropping helicopter and the man them and the dad was like, yo, but my daughter's like, what is that doing? He's like acting wild. But do you know when I went to the place, I see mums there,
Yep.
I see yummy mummies there.
Yep.
It was wild, bro.
Yeah.
You
Imagine.
can rave with your kids. It's sick, and then actually, it's a thing, you know.
Yeah, of course it's
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
And then
it's
they're
a
looking
thing.
at you as if to say, yo, daddy, you look alright.
Yeah. They're looking for a
wow,
stepdad.
chicken wow wow.
Looking for a stepdad, you know, blended family.
You know
Yeah, man.
So
Sorry, fam.
Millionaire Mike, no,
Yeah, yeah.
go for it.
No, bro, like personally, for me, what I think has been lost, yeah, is there is the music in it. The music for me is what draws the people to the
Yeah.
venue, whether it's the daytime rave or the evening rave.
Yeah.
Now, the culture around the music is about the dance move, the lyrics, you know, and just the general happiness. I personally think that music nowadays is so segregated in the sense that there's so many different genres and subgenres, but there's nothing that unites people to basically come together and celebrate the music. Do you know what I'm saying? And The gang thing as well was making it more difficult to go places and truly enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't, like, it's harder, which is why I think that daytime raves are more popular, because they reminisce of most people thinking of a romantic time in their lives where life was simpler, things were simpler, things were more enjoyable. That's why I think the daytime raving scene is gonna basically
take off.
Is gonna take off.
Yeah.
And also from a business point of view, you don't have to have a nightclub. You can just have to go to a bar that has a license till 6, 7, 8, which most bars or most clubs do. You can turn that little area into a little brunch thing, even a pub even.
Yeah.
And then boom, by 6, 7 o'clock, everyone's gone.
And you don't have to worry about security as much.
Yeah.
Late licenses and stuff like that. You want to say? Yeah, no, 100%. No, that's a good point.
Yeah, I'd second Mike's point about that connection, and this is one of the things that I like about these day raves. There's more of an emphasis on the DJ.
Yeah,
I think when it was our generation,
anyone could.
Yeah, there was definitely, especially if you're going like jungle or grime raves or even garage raves, there was an emphasis on the MC.
Yeah.
Now I feel we've shifted back.
Yeah.
But you know what else has also declined as well? House parties. When was the last time you went to a house party?
Who wants people in their yard though?
No. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There was something about a house party. You know, you'll be raving until like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Big sound speaker. You never know who you might bump into. But the same restrictions that happen in nightclubs, it's happening with people's houses.
Oh, about noise pollution.
Yeah,
stuff.
So I just think overall, with the loss of nightclubs, the loss of house parties, it all adds up to the loss of connection.
Yeah,
we're losing it.
Brilliant point. No, thank you. Pleasure, P.
I think the two things you guys said. One, the music. I think when you see, like, I don't go out, but like when I see the brunch videos, it's all the old school tunes that we used to shack out to. So clearly there's nothing new on the market or nothing vibey anyway. Obviously the decline.
Yeah.
There was a thing, wasn't it? Like, how many clubs could you go to? How many have you been to? This and that. You used to go hopping across North London, South London, this and this. That's all been gone. But the other thing I'd say is I think it's a UK specific thing. I don't think it's global like that.
No.
Like, you go to Europe, you can still go out and have a rave.
Yeah.
You can go to France, still have a rave.
I think it's similar though, from what I've been hearing from some of my cousins and stuff in like US. They're kind of very similar to us now. Emphasis has kind of moved on to day raves as opposed to more nightclubs. So, yeah,
that's it for me.
Okay, I'll touch on all your lot's points because I think they're all valid. But for me, I think one, it's the music and vibes, because again, you go to like one of them clubs that play new era music. Have I heard of them? Are they making like traction as like the big old school artists? And I don't feel music. I think music is it's dead. There's no soul to it anymore, and it all sounds the same.
Yes.
All same beat, all the same thing.
Last time I went out clubbing, you know what they played? That Panda song, Panda.
Right,
I was like, what the
I was like 2000.
is going on here? Like Panda. What?
Yeah.
What Panda, bro?
And that's a great point, mate. I just feel like they're just rehashing
it.
Everything is an 80s or 90s redux.
Yeah.
Just that. Yeah, come on, man. Let's have some creativity. Let's have some originality.
But it's usually like 90s theme, innit? It's theme now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they used to do that in our time, but not as predominantly.
No. Just like everything just sounds the same to me.
Yeah, man.
And the vibe, everyone's just there to like, oh babe, let's just take one selfie. Even though I take selfies, but I'm shucking out, like I'm coming out there sweating like I've been working in the fields, man. Trust me. Like when I proper go there, because you know life's hard, you know, and when I go out, I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm gonna be on the flyer. I'm joking. I'm joking. Never happened to me. Get me? We're making it a day out. Like we're not there. We don't care about anyone else. If you look stupid, we're just there to dance, catch joke, and like an event. It's an event, innit? And I think a lot of people don't look at it like that anymore. It's just like a fashion show for certain places you go. And obviously the biggest thing has obviously been COVID, because that killed everyone's like the economy. So last thing people wanted to do, like, get me, can't even afford like a proper steak, and then you're gonna go out raving with Mike and Adrian, your mates and stuff like that. Your missus ain't gonna have it, is she? Kind of thing. So get me. So that's had a big effect on things. But you know what? If you haven't been to a day rave, there's some day raves that are good, and you go there. whole experience, have a bit of alcohol. If that's what you're into. Music's good, and the vibes are good. So, get me. Night raves may be dead for people 30 odd plus, but there's still hope. There's still day raves, and with that, I'm gonna say that's a wrap. But if you like, subscribe. We're on all the social media platforms such as
YouTube,
Instagram,
Facebook,
TikTok,
Spotify.
X. So
yeah, man. All of them.
be sure to like and subscribe. But until next time, guys, peace.
What's blowing kisses?
you was dropping yourself £4.
I was like, that KFC kicked in.
I'm about to free this
Oh, she held it back there.
There was some good clangers in there, man. There was some good clangers. Like when he said, if you've ever gone to raves for kids? No. No, man, not like that. I mean,
that was. Have you been swallowed?
have you been swallowed up? That was something else, man.